So I already talked about this on Blue Sky, but I think I wanted to mention it here because I do find it really interesting and don't think a lot of people really think about this. But sometimes a main weapon's buffs can translate into future main weapons based on it. I think probably the best example is Tri-Stringer. For those who don't remember, the AoE bullets over here used to deal 28 damage each, and they were buffed to deal 30 damage on this weapon. When Wellstring released after this change, Wellstring has 30 damage area of effect bullets. And this is really, really important for Wellstring, because it gives it the damage numbers it needs to work with other weapons. Imagine if hitting someone with one bullet dealt 28 damage. This weapon's best pairs right now are probably Stamper, which would no longer work, and Bucket, which would also no longer work. A key part of what makes Wellstring such a good chip damage weapon, in terms of having such a large 30 damage hitbox, would be completely gone. And it would be even worse if you look at it in other numbers, like obviously 2 hits would do 56 instead of 60, which is even lower, and then 3 hits do 84 instead of 90, which probably break a whole bunch of other combos, but it's interesting to think about. The other notable example, I think, is that Bucket got a pretty big change where its minimum damage will be set to 50. This makes Bucket a guaranteed 2-shot. No matter where you slosh from or what hitbox you hit, this will be a guaranteed 2-shot, which was not a thing prior. Dreadringer, upon its release, got a minimum of 35 damage, making it a guaranteed 3-shot. No matter how you hit Dreadringer, it's going to be a 3-shot. And this also happened after Bucket's change, and I'm willing to bet would probably not have been the same otherwise. I think this buff is less important for sure, but Dread being a consistent 3-shot is pretty important for some of the angles you take with the weapon, especially if you're like poking from high ground. Sometimes you'll be walling people out, because that's what these 2 sloshes are. Like if you're sloshing over the ledge on Ramen, and that would probably be a 4-shot if it wasn't for this kind of damage change that Bucket got and seemed to carry over. So I found those pretty interesting. There might be other examples throughout the game's history where a buff had to have happened before a future version launched that had data pulled from it, or it might have reasonably affected it, but those are the 2 main examples I can think of for Splatoon 3. So yeah, that's all.